Here's your wrestling news for October 1st, 2021. And your headlines for today include possible spoilers for NXT superstars in 2021 WWE Draft. Bobby Lashley teases jump to SmackDown before draft. Is WWE holding SummerSlam 2022 in the UK? Nikki Bella says she's retired from pro wrestling for life. Impact Wrestling introduces new title belt. Impact Wrestling releases backstage angle for Sami Callihan injuries. Update on big tag team match. CM Punk credits multi-time WWE Hardcore Champion as being the first to help him. Former WWE Champion from the Attitude Era in a cinematic match, and more. We are kicking off today with WWE, who will host the first night of its 2021 draft tonight. And it's not just the rosters of Raw and SmackDown which are about to change. We recently reported that NXT 2.0's roster is also expected to face several call-ups, and we now may have an idea as to who will be heading upwards. On his Mat Men Pro Wrestling podcast, Andrew Zarian mentioned that Hit Row has been a name considered to be called up, as has former $1 Million champion LA Knight. Zarian has also explained that the draft is meant to be one-sided and no main roster names will be officially drafted to NXT, but fans shouldn't be too surprised if main roster superstars head down to the colorful brand every now and then, similar to Mandy Rose. We'll only know who goes where after the 2021 draft concludes with next Monday's Raw, but the NXT roster could be undergoing yet another dramatic change tonight. One thing we know is that the rosters of WWE are about to be shaken up in a major way, with one huge draftee potentially revealed already. In a tweet, Bobby Lashley noted how he's been on Raw in the 3 years since his return to WWE and said that it may be time to shake things up by moving to SmackDown. Interestingly, all the signs point to a Lashley move, as he recently ended his storyline with Big E, the man who dethroned him for the title, and could do with a move to the Blue brand. Reuniting with the Hurt Business recently, we can only hope that Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin are also moved to SmackDown if Lashley gets the call, but as we know, anything can happen when Vince McMahon shuffles the deck. Earlier this week, it was reported that WWE was looking at having SummerSlam 2022 in Cardiff, Wales, 30 years since the 1992 event was hosted in the UK. A UK pay-per-view is something fans and Drew McIntyre have been calling on for a while, and we should stress that this Cardiff rumor is far from a done deal. On his show, Meltzer explained that Cardiff's Principality Stadium isn't the only option overseas, but that time may prove to ruin any plans for the British crowd. He said, "There's talk of Cardiff, Wales, and probably somewhere else in the UK, so that would be interesting time slot-wise. That's why I don't think it's going to be SummerSlam, because it would have to be in the afternoon, and I don't know if they'll want to do that." Meltzer went on to say that because of WWE's deal with Peacock, they have guaranteed money, and won't lose any pay-per-view buys if SummerSlam went to the UK. A WWE UK pay-per-view would start around 1 p.m. Eastern for US fans, but with WWE having the same start time for their Saudi events, time will tell if SummerSlam 2022 happens in the UK after all. In 2018, Nikki Bella wrestled what would be her final televised match in WWE, losing to then Raw Women's Champion Ronda Rousey at WWE Evolution. Since then, Nikki has teased a return and even competed at an October 2019 live event, and with her neck getting stronger, many have speculated that the Bellas could one day hold the WWE Women's Tag Team titles. That won't be happening, as while speaking on Sippin' the Tea with Ariane Andrew, aka Cameron, Nikki broke the sad news that her career is truly over, saying, "I have to listen to the doctors, and as of now, they've put me on the retired bench for life. So it would take a lot of scans, x-rays, and all this different stuff for them to actually approve me to have a run, and so that would be unlikely. That would be years down the road." Nikki added that she'd love for her son Mateo to see her wrestle one day, but she can't take unnecessary risks now that she's a mother. As one half of arguably the most well-known women's tag team ever, even outside the world of wrestling, the Bella Twins seemed destined to one day be women's tag team champions, but that's an accolade Nikki won't be adding to her Hall of Fame career. Roman Reigns defeated the Demon Finn Balor at WWE Extreme Rules after the top rope completely broke. This has left fans confused. However, a part of the mystery is solved, thanks to some fan-shot footage of how WWE pulled off the finish and who caused the top rope to break. Balor stepped up to Reigns during their Extreme Rules match and supposedly hulked up when the Demon's heartbeat began playing. He rose to his feet and decimated the tribal chief as the arena filled with red lighting. When Finn Balor went for the coup de grace, the top rope snapped and sent him crashing to the mat. This allowed Roman Reigns to spear him and retain his Universal Championship. Fan footage from the Columbus crowd shows that a person appearing to work as a camera person seemed to cut the top rope. When the video is zoomed in, it appears as if this camera person was holding a knife. That was presumably used to cut the top rope, which caused the turnbuckle Balor was standing on to collapse. This video went viral overnight, and it seems that the entire event plays out from this fan's viewpoint. It is very interesting and gives WWE even more reason to prohibit filming the event from the crowd. They took very careful not to show that cameraman on screen during Extreme Rules, but he got plenty of spotlight in this video. What's your take on this story? Sound off in the comments below. Over to Impact Wrestling next, as a brand new championship title is on its way to the company. This week, the Impact Digital Media Championship was announced, and a single elimination tournament will determine the first champion, a tournament that'll conclude at Bound for Glory on October 23rd. The new title will be defended over Impact's digital and streaming platforms, a bit like a television title, but for the age of social media. So far, no talent have been announced for the tournament, but one Impact Wrestling star will make history later this month, becoming the first digital media champion. Sami Callihan certainly won't be the first to hold the digital media title, as he suffered a serious injury during a recent taping. In September, Callihan suffered a broken ankle, broken tibia, and broken fibia doing a suicide dive to the outside of the ring, and is expected to be out until mid-2022 at the very earliest. Now Impact have given a storyline update on his injury, and in a backstage video, it's said that Callihan suffered his injuries during an attack by Moose and W. Morrissey. The video ends with Callihan being ambulanced away as co-workers share words of encouragement, and on Twitter, the former world champion promised to be back. Callihan has had surgery on his leg and was released from the hospital on Tuesday, September 21st, and we're wishing him a speedy recovery from this horrific case of bad luck. AEW news now, and since joining at the First Dance edition of Rampage, CM Punk has proven to be one of the company's most popular stars. Appearing on the AEW Unrestricted show to discuss his career, Punk spoke about everything from wrestling to MMA to his acting pursuits, but credited one man in particular for helping him get his start in the ring. He said, "Raven is a guy, I don't think I ever really mentioned him. He needs the credit for being really the first guy that I worked with that would sit me down, literally be like, okay, you're the Raven gave Punk a lot of tough love early on in his career, but it ultimately paid off for the former WWE champion, who added, "He helped me get a grasp of having stuff make sense. He helped me a lot when I was just like a dude doing matches. It was more about like, oh, this is going to be like New Japan in Super Junior's match because they do cool moves, and he was the guy who was like, try to slow it down and have stuff make more sense." Often regarded as one of the smartest men in wrestling, Raven competed in WCW, ECW, WWE, and TNA, and is the only man to have an action figure from all four companies. And fans have the hardcore wrestler to thank for helping set CM Punk on what would be a truly incredible career. And we're ending today with cinematic matches, which have become more common last year, as wrestling companies needed to think outside the box due to the absence of crowds. WrestleMania 36's Boneyard match is widely regarded as one of the best matches of The Undertaker's career, and now his longtime rival Mick Foley wants in on the action. During Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer explained that Foley is open for another match, albeit one where the amount of bumps are minimal, saying, "You know, Mick Foley said he would do a cinematic match? There was a comedy show and someone in the crowd asked for one more match, and he said, I could do a cinematic match. That was just a couple of hours ago at the show." Foley's last match in WWE was as part of the 2012 Royal Rumble match, and his last singles match in the company was on the October 30th, 2007 SmackDown, where he squashed Jonathan Coachman. After a career of putting his body on the line, the Hall of Famer won't be having any 60-minute technical classics in the ring, but with a rich and storied career, ending on a cinematic encounter could be in the future for the former world champion. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.